Everybody, good to see you and happy Thursday. We are here in Denver, Colorado, having a blast here in the Ace Barbecue studio. We had to switch cords. Apparently, my old microphone cord died on me. Who would have thought? But hey, good to see you. Happy Thursday. We're hanging out here in the Ace Barbecue Pit Studio in Denver, Colorado. I'll tell you what, we're excited because it's snowing outside, which is great because that is a perfect way to ring in the holiday. So happy Thursday. Thank you for joining us for Turkey 101. We're going to talk all things turkey tonight. Now, while we're letting some folks roll in and everybody get signed in, a couple housekeeping notes we have for you. Coming up this Thursday, you can see it right on my sign. It is our Thanksgrilling Party at your local Ace Hardware. So from 11 to 2, you can stop into your participating Ace Hardware stores and talk turkey with all of our Ace barbecue experts across the nation. That's right. I have the honor and the pleasure of working with all of our Ace associates across the nation, training them to become barbecue experts. So if we don't answer your questions tonight, don't sweat it. We will get back to them and answer them on the live video. But I'll tell you what, head in and see our barbecue experts in our local Ace Hardware stores. They're going to help get you all set up with tips, advice, gear, gadgets, grills, everything you need to absolutely have a fantastic Thanksgrilling or Thanksgiving at your house. So that's this Saturday, November 19th, participating Ace Hardware stores from 11 to 2. You can swing by. We're going to have some samples. We're going to have great deals, talk turkey, all of that good stuff. Now, talking about great deals, now is the best time to buy a Traeger grill because we've got some great specials on Traeger grills. So be sure to head over to acehardware.com and you will see it right on our landing page, all of the amazing deals we've got going on at Ace Hardware, at your local Ace Hardware on Traegers. We've got some great specials on ironwoods. You can check out the new Timberline. We've got some deals on the Pros as well. So a lot of cool things. Laura says in the comments, she is cooking a ton of food at her local Ace this Saturday. So we definitely like to see that. I can see all your comments rolling in. We've got a giant monitor now. So we'll be able to answer a bunch of your questions live. So feel free while we are live. Ask me questions. Let me know what I can do to help you. But I'll tell you what, make it easy on me. Tell me what grill you're cooking on. That way, when I answer your question, I can kind of ebb and flow and tailor that to your grill and to you to make sure that we've got everything dialed in. While we're waiting for some other folks to tune in, I'll tell you what I need your help with tonight. In the comment section, one of the things we strive to do is we always love to ask you what you would like to learn, what you would like to see on these live events, and then we definitely want to make sure we get those. So tell us in the comment section, hey, what would you love to see us do live on some of our next YouTube lives? So let me know, and we will get those answered. I'm interested in the bag of brine that is tipped over. This is a brine bag. We're going to talk about all of those things here as well. All right. I'm telling you, we did our housekeeping things. We've got some great things coming up. I can see all of your questions rolling in, and I'm definitely going to answer a lot of those for you. Now, don't sweat it. If I don't get to them while we're live, I will be going back because I can't sleep, right? It's getting close to Thanksgrilling, and I'm up thinking about food. So I'll be back answering your questions for you, and we will get you all set and dialed in. Now, don't forget, like we said, head over to acehardware.com. And Allison, who is moderating for us, is going to put the link into our Thanksgrilling landing page as well. There are recipes, tips, advice, videos, all of those good things over at acehardware.com where you can jump in, grab everything, and become a turkey aficionado, right? Because you want to make sure you have the most amazing turkey this year at your house. All right, let's dig in. Let's talk turkey. First thing we've got for you here. These are two turkeys that I did today. I just took these off the grill. This one's been resting now for about 15 minutes. This has been resting for about 5 minutes. I wanted to just talk through real quick what we have, where we are, and then we're going to walk through that process of how we got to where we are. So this is a 19-pound turkey in front of me. I brined this in our chef's brine, and we're going to go through that whole brining process and talk about what a brine is, what it does, etc. I brined it in our chef's brine, smoke this on my Traeger. Now, I haven't done anything to this. I didn't rub it with fat. I didn't baste it with butter. This is a brine turkey that we took out of the brine. We didn't pat it. We didn't rinse it. Popped it onto the Traeger. And here you are with a 19-pound turkey that came out exceptional. Right here, we have the turkey breast cage. And this is always a fun one because with a whole turkey, you get white meat, dark meat, but you also have only 50% yield when it comes to this turkey, right? If you buy a 19-pound turkey, you are not eating 19 pounds of turkey. You're going to be eating a little bit less because you have wings, legs, bones, all of those things, carcass that you're going to discard. Now, the nice thing here with the turkey breast cage, this was a 7-pound turkey breast cage, and you're going to yield about 6 pounds out of this when you get rid of some of the trims and the rib cage and all of that. So for anybody that may be serving less people, or it's just the two of you, or don't need dark meat, you only want white meat, this is great to do as well. A lot of cool things that I can see all your questions coming in about how to cook turkey on a big green egg. We've got Weber propane grill. I don't know how to grill a turkey. I'm excited. We got you. I promise that. I just purchased the Traeger turkey brine kit and pellets. Are you going to talk about how to brine? Yes, we're going through that entire process. The best pellets for turkey. You guys, I'm going to give you the whole spiel tonight. So we're going to talk flavor. We're going to talk all of that. We're going to talk pellets and more. This is all about crafting those amazing flavors that your family is going to go nuts over when it comes to Thanksgrilling. Gary, I'll answer your question quick because it's the last one that came up. Approximate cook time on the turkey breast on the Traeger took me about 2 hours. And that was cooking at 325. I turned it up a little bit at the end to get that skin nice and brown. All right. So here is where we are at. This is what we've got to aspire to tonight, right? I'm going to get these guys out of the way here. Super, super quick. Like I said, too, don't worry about it. Ask your questions, ask your comments. What I'll do is go back through. We'll get those answered for you as well. But we've got a lot of stuff to cover. I'm going to get covering all of that. We're going to show you all the good stuff. So I'm going to leave this here as a little bit of a teaser for you, right? That is where we ended up. So this is our Thanksgiving feast. Let's go backwards, talk about where we're going to start today. So what I did was went to my local grocery store. I picked out my turkey breast cage and I picked out my whole turkey. Now, tell you what, it is Thursday the 17th. It is a week until Thanksgiving. Now is the time to get out there and find your turkey. What do I look for in the turkeys? Well, I look for the writing on the package first and foremost. I want to see what it says there. I want to see if it says contains 8%, 12%, 15% solution, because the solution that's in the turkey is a start of sodium, a start of the flavoring, a start of the seasoning. I want this to be minimally processed and have the minimum amount of solution in there. Let's say you get a turkey with some solution. Don't sweat it. We'll tell you what to do there. So I picked out a 19-pounder. Again, this is actually 19.5 pounds. Here's how I plan my turkey. And we have a turkey planner for you as well. You can head over to acehardware.com and grab your turkey planner. Like I said before, you lose about half of the weight of this turkey to bones, carcass, and other things. Now, if I have people coming over to my house, I like to plan about a pound of turkey a person. Knowing that I'm going to lose half means I'm going to have about 8 ounces of turkey a person, and that'll give them enough to eat, plus enough for some leftovers. And then, the 2 days after Thanksgiving is a great time as well, because you have great leftover recipes, which we'll tease you with a little bit later. But I always like to plan about a pound of turkey a person. If you want more leftovers and you're thinking, I want extra leftovers for 3 days after Thanksgiving, you can always plan 1.5 pounds a person or plan accordingly. But I like to make sure that I plan everything, how much we're going to eat, how much we're going to give away. Maybe we're giving out doggy bags, and then how much we're going to save to enjoy later. So I always feel like 1 pound is a pretty good place. Now, when it comes to the turkey breast cage, same thing here. I'm reading the package. I'm checking out how much solution is on there, because too much salt here with some salt in your brine, maybe a salt on your rub, you always get that salt plus salt plus salt. Definitely adds to the sodium content. So we want to pay attention to that. The star of the show for Thanksgrilling is the turkey. It's not the salt. So we want to be aware of that. Okay. So I picked out my turkeys, right? And it is D-Day. It's time to get going. Now, if your bird is frozen, you probably need to start getting this in your refrigerator on Sunday. The good rule of thumb is on a whole turkey, if it's frozen, figure about 1 day per 5 pounds of brine time. So you want to make sure that you give this 5 pounds per day to defrost. Now, if you're going to brine it, give it an extra day just to be safe. So let's say a 20-pound turkey, realistically, I need 4 days. I'm going to give it 5. So I want to get that in the fridge Saturday or so just to give it enough time. Good suggestion for you. put it in a drip pan when you defrost this in your refrigerator, because all it takes is one little hole in your bag to find out where the path of least resistance is for all the turkey juice. And in my case, last year, it was the deli drawer, which does not make for a good pre-Thanksgiving feast. All right, so this is a fresh turkey right here. So these are, Jeremy just asked me, talk about a fresh turkey. If you have a fresh turkey, here's what I would tell you. Let the grocery store hang on to it as long as they can. Make sure that it's reserved, or obviously you're not going to lose out on it. But I like to keep it under refrigeration at the grocery store as long as I can, because then that way I'm ensured it's being stored at the proper temperature. It is being held great, and you don't have to worry about taking up space in your fridge. And then when you get that fresh bird, it's ready to go. So now that we've picked out our turkeys and we've talked a little bit about that defrost time, get those into your fridge, let those defrost. And again, on the turkey breast, we're saying about 5 pounds per day of defrosting. If this is 6-7 pounds, just give it 2 days and you'll be in a really good place as well. So get those defrosting. And then now that you have your turkey, now that you've planned the defrosting, one of the things to think about is how you want to flavor your turkey. Now, if you go to your local Ace Hardware store, we have a lot of brines for you. We've got brines from Meat Church, Cosmos Q. This is my own line of brines as well. We've got a lot of different options for you and a lot of different flavors. So what you're going to have to think about now is, where do I want my flavor to go? And it's a lot like picking pellets. Everybody always wants to know, what is my favorite flavor for pellets? And I'll tell you that my favorite flavor may not be yours. So I try to remember anything that has to do flavor-wise for Thanksgiving. Think about who you're cooking for. Think about your friends, your family, what flavors they prefer. So here is what a brine is. At the basic of a brine, you have salt, sugar, spices, herbs, aromatics. That is all what comes together to make this solid form of a brine that we're going to turn into a solution that is going to be put into a brine bag in an Ace bucket and help flavor your turkey. So our chef's brine is very neutral. That's kind of that entry level. The nice thing about this is this brine will allow you to really have a good foundation of flavor, but it's also a great insurance policy that you're going to have juicy, moist, delicious, wonderful turkey. All right. So chef's brine, neutral, very easy, very chill, very family friendly. Then when you get into Bayou brine, you can see that color's changed a little bit, right? You can see this is a little bit lighter. This one's a little bit darker. What we have here now is a little bit more robust, a little bit heartier brine. We've got some smoked black pepper, some paprika, some herbs. This is going to kick up that flavor just a tiny bit. Even though it says Bayou, don't let that confuse you and make you think it's hot, because that's not always necessarily true. So make sure you read the packages of brines, look at those flavor profiles as well. But if you want neutral, then, and you want to impart a little more flavor, maybe on the skin, maybe you want to put mayonnaise on there as a binder, Bayou chef's brine is going to be great. Bayou brine is going to give you a little more robustness, a little more hearty, a little more flavor in your brine. Okay, like I said, follow the package instructions on the brines, because that'll tell you how much water to bring to a boil, how long to dissolve, and it will also tell you how much this will brine. One bag of our brine will do about 18 to 20 pound turkey. This will definitely flavor up a great turkey. If you have a little bit less or you have a little bit more, here's your solution. Like I said, 18 to 20 pounds here. If you're going to brine a 15-pound turkey, maybe you brine it for a little bit less. We always say about 45 minutes a pound is perfect, but I would brine in the same strength solution. If you were under, maybe just tweak that time down a little. Now, let's say you've got a monster turkey, you've got a 24-pound turkey. My answer is not to brine longer. My answer is to brine just a little bit stronger. So you may look at a package and a half, making that brine solution stronger, brining it for the same 45 minutes per pound just to get that nice flavor profile. All right, we talked turkeys, we talked brines. Now you've got to get a brine bag, because while I love our Ace Hardware buckets, we want to make sure they're clean and they're food safe. So grab an Ace bucket from your favorite Ace Hardware and then give it a clean. Rinse it, sanitize it, wash it, make sure it is fresh and clean. This is definitely not the time to bring out the bucket that you've had in the garage storing your bulbs or plants, any other thing, nuts, bolts, those types of things. I always love to start with a fresh bucket. and make sure it's washed, rinsed, sanitized, ready to go. Then if you grab some brine bags, the brine bag is going to line this bucket for you, making it food safe. This is BPA free, food safe plastic. This is a very strong brine bag. You don't have to worry about a turkey wing getting in there and poking a hole in it. You are good to go. This is safe and sturdy and durable. Every package of brine bags comes with 2 bags and some twist ties to help you tie it up when the time comes. All right, let's walk through the brine. I told you that we were doing a little bit of a science project tonight. We are taking a solid and turning it into a solution. So we followed our package instructions. Our package instructions said, bring 2 quarts of water to a boil and add your brine. Then what I like to do is stir it. When you have your pot on the stove and you're bringing it to a boil, you turn your water off, turn your heat off, add your brine in here and stir it. You'll start hearing a little crackling and a little grit or sand on the bottom. I'm going to keep stirring until that stops. That tells me that everything has dissolved, the sugar, the spices, everything. Chris Zwire asked a great question. Chris said, would you brine or inject if you were deep frying a turkey? I will tell you, when it comes to brining, I am always very cautious anytime I am bringing that extra amount of moisture near a fryer. I'm also very, very cautious to fry turkeys as well. If you're going to brine and fry, you have to be super, super careful. You want to make sure this bird has a chance to drain. So I will brine it. I will remove it from the brine and I will let the bird dry out for about 6 hours in my fridge to make sure all of that moisture is gone. I will tell you this, if you are frying, please be super, super careful. Make sure you don't have your frying vessel overfilled with oil. Take all the precautions you can and pat a ton of that moisture off of there. All right, let's see what we got here. Somebody else asked, what about dry brining? I'm definitely a fan of wet brining. My goal when I make turkey is I want that bird to absorb as much moisture as possible. Think about a bath. You're taking a bath. You put a bath bomb in there. You come out of the bath and you smell good. You smell flowery and wonderful. And that bath bomb has really helped impart some scents. And then the bath gives you a little bit of moisture. This is a super flavorful bath water that we're putting our turkey in. And as that turkey soaks, it's going to absorb a ton of moisture. Turkeys love to sit about 15% moisture. And if you buy them accordingly, some of those fresh birds are about 6%. So you know you've got an opportunity to bring a little bit more moisture into your turkey. So this is a flavorful bath water that we are going to soak our turkey in. And as it pulls that flavor in, it's pulling in moisture and then your baseline of flavor. Question about Ace Bucket. This is a 5-gallon Ace Bucket. This is a 24 by 30 bag. So the bag fits perfectly in the Ace Bucket. Yeah, thanks, Matt. Matt said he loved the analogy. I don't know how to say it any way different. We're just giving our turkey a bath in some flavorful, wonderful deliciousness. All right. So we followed the package instructions. Now, the goal in the brining process is to make sure that turkey stays as cold as possible in your fridge up until you brine. I also want to make sure that this brine has an opportunity to cool down and become room temperature before I add my ice water to it. Okay, so Jeremy, let's go back to your fresh turkey. I would buy my fresh turkey. I'd like to have my fresh turkey in my fridge on Monday. All right, so if you're buying a fresh turkey and you know where you're getting it from, let those folks hold it as long as you can and then get that bird. Make sure you have scheduled it. Make sure you follow up with them. They have it reserved for you. Get that fresh bird in your fridge on Monday and you'll be like, I have it, and you're good to go. That way it's ready. It gives you a chance to prep it and clean it Tuesday, Wednesday, and then get it in your brine Wednesday overnight into Thursday. So back to the brine. We followed the package instructions. We got it all dissolved, ready to go. I'm going to let it sit. So if you did a backwards schedule, let's say you think to yourself, you know what? I'm eating Thursday at 5 o'clock. You have to start making that schedule in reverse. So if you eat at 5 and you think, oh man, I have 5 hours of cook time, means it has to get in at 12 in the afternoon, but you need some time to rest and carve. So I may put it in at 11, giving myself a little window at the end to rest it and carve it. Then think about brine time. Now all of a sudden I have 10 or 12 hours of brine time. I go backwards into Wednesday. So I usually make my brine first thing Wednesday morning. It gives me a time to get in the holiday mood. I'm going to make the brine. I am going to do my work in the house. I'm going to get some prep done, all that kind of stuff while the brine cools all day and it gets ready for the turkey. Couple questions super quick. Everybody's been asking about over brining, injecting those things. Let's talk about that real quick. Yes. I always suggest 45 minutes per pound when it comes to brining. I want to make sure that I don't over brine my bird. If you've ever defrosted chicken in your refrigerator, you were in a hurry, and those white edges got a little bit rubbery as you were defrosting. Over brining your turkey will make it rubbery like that and turn the color kind of translucent on the turkey. So 45 minutes a pound is that sweet spot for me. That is definitely just the right amount of ebbing and flowing of moisture in and out to make sure that turkey is spot on. And you definitely don't want to over brine it because it gets salty, rubbery, and definitely is not an exceptional holiday feast. Injecting. When I brine, okay, how long to brine for a 9-pound bird, 9-pound turkey? Kenneth, I'm sorry, I meant to answer that as well. If you're doing a 9-pound, divide this package in half, brine it the same amount of time. 9 pounds is a little bit smaller bird, so I would cut your brine in half, divide the package instructions, the water and everything in half, and then brine that bird about the same amount of time, 45 minutes a pound. You're not going to take too long, but your brine will be a little bit less. And then just brine everything the same, breaking down the brine by half to keep that weight the same. When it comes to injection, I see a lot of questions about injection. Brining gives me flavor, gives me moisture. If I'm going to inject after the fact, I'm not going to inject more seasoning in there because I don't want pockets of sodium. I don't want a ton of salt. What I'm going to inject is fat. A couple of you have said, I want to inject butter. Absolutely inject butter. We've got a couple injectors here. This is kind of one of my favorites. This is our grill mark injector. So what I will do is go ahead and melt some butter. I may even melt bacon fat as well. And I'll draw that up while it's warm. And then I'll inject that all over the turkey, getting some really nice pockets of fat. The cool thing is that fat will congeal in the bird. And then as you cook it, smoke it, roast it, oven it, etc., it will slowly start to percolate and do a little self-basting while you're cooking your turkey, which, I mean, a self-basting turkey full of bacon fat is a beautiful thing. So if I'm brining, I don't inject flavor. I inject moisture or fat. All right. A 15-pound turkey. We've got a turkey. We have a turkey cooking chart for you. If you go to acehardware.com, and our Thanksgrilling page, we've got a whole cooking chart for you that'll give you some rough ballparks based on temperature. There's a lot of variables that come into cooking your turkey and how long. So I would say head over and grab that turkey doneness or turkey cooking sheet. That'll give you some great advice there. Okay, brine is done. We made this Wednesday morning. We let it sit all day Wednesday, and we are ready to go. Now, one of the things we have to do first before we brine, and let's say we're getting ready for brine time Wednesday night, one of the things we want to do is, through the power of TV, we want to grab our prepped turkey. So this was my turkey that was fully defrosted. I have it all ready to go. I got it out of the package. I drained everything out. And there's a couple little steps we have to take. Step number one, if your turkey includes a turkey thermometer, pull that thermometer out. You won't need it because we're going to talk about temperature checking and all of that as well. I want to take out the gift packages. I want to go into the cavity. I want to get out the neck, the heart, the giblets, whatever they put in there. And then I want to rinse that cavity out just a little bit. I'm not rinsing the whole bird. I'm just rinsing the cavity. And then on the front side, they always seem to have a little gift package in here. Take that gift package out. That is not an aromatically wonderful gift package. That is a horribly smelling gift package, unless you like giblets. If you like giblets, it's wonderful. If you don't, take it out and throw it away or cook it up and give it to the dogs. The dogs will appreciate that. I like to take all the packages out and get my bird 100% ready to rock and roll. So Wednesday morning, we made the brine. The brine is fully cooled. Now what I'm going to do to the brine when I'm ready to put the turkey in the bucket, I'm going to add my 1.5 gallons of ice water. Like I said, we want an ice cold turkey. We want an ice cold brine, and we want to go into our bucket to make sure it stays ice cold the entire time. Yeah. Jan says the jibs are good. Some people are giblet fans. It's weird because I can eat foie gras and duck liver and goose liver, and I think it's wonderful. But giblets on turkey, it's not my thing. Anyways, so your brine is all set. You added that 1.5 gallons of ice water. Everything is cold. Your turkey came out of the fridge. It's all prepped and ready to go. All right. One of the things you're going to need to do, we're brining now. Right here where the neck is and into the rib cage, there is a spot where you can put a little hole. What I'm going to do is right above the neck, I'm going to put a wooden spoon in there, and I'm actually going to poke a hole into the cavity. Super easy to do. You go right up on the top of the neck, poke that hole into your cavity, and auger it just a tiny bit around to make an opening. That's going to be our drain hole for the brine. And you're going to thank me later when it comes time to pull the turkey out and it drains itself. All right. Now, I tucked my wings ahead of time. I want to make sure that they fit in the bucket, right? So I'm going to go into my ace bucket carefully. Legs up and cavity up. All right. Let me take my gloves off here and store my pan. So legs up, cavity up. I've got my turkey set in the bucket. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to grab my brine bag. I'm going to go just like that and take up some of the slack. And I'm going to fold the brine bag over. Now, my brine is all cooled. Ice water, life is good. Ice cold turkey, ice cold brine. I'm going to give it a stir. I want to make sure that anything that's in there, pepper, herbs, those types of things are floating around nice. Carefully, we're going to pour that in the bucket, into the cavity, around the turkey, all of that good stuff. And we're going to get everything we can out of our bucket. All right. So now we store that pan as well. We have a full bird in the bucket. I'm going to take the camera off the tripod here super quick so I can show you this, but I want to show you what we're doing. It's like turkey camera. So you see what we've got there? See how that is nice and full? That is all filled up in the bag, and we are good to go here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my twist ties right here out of the bag, set the bag to the side. I'm going to pull this up again here. Make sure we're good. I'm going to squeeze out the air carefully. I'm going to spin the bucket and hold the bag. Spin it and hold the bag. Get it nice and tight. All right, hold on. We got to make sure the ace is in the front. Right like that. Okay, now take my twist tie, twist it up, and Jeremy, we'll go ahead and put a link to the bucket in there, but if you head into your local Ace Hardware, you'll see these beautiful buckets pretty much everywhere. Now, I take this little flap right here, and I just tuck it down in here. Now, I promise not to do anything controversial tonight, but here goes. Now you have to store the turkey somewhere. So you're going to have to pick a place to store your turkey. If you have a second refrigerator that maybe holds malted barley and hops, you may have to move that to the side to put your turkey in your fridge. The ultimate goal is you want to make sure that it came out of your refrigerator ice cold. You want to make sure that the bucket of brine was ice cold. And then you want to make sure that it goes in here cold and stays cold during that entire process. Okay. So now pick a place to put this. If you have a second fridge, put it in there. If you don't, you're thinking, what am I going to do? Put it in a cooler. Make sure you ice it down. If I look at, my brine level is right here, put this in a cooler and make sure you fill the ice in your cooler up and then put ice on the top so that this stays cold. I know people are going to ask, what about putting it in my garage? It's cold in my garage. What about leaving it in my backyard? We lost a turkey a couple of years ago in our backyard, and I had it in a cooler, but I had the lid of the cooler open because it was a small cooler, but it was iced down, and someone came and took my turkey. And I'm not sure what animal it was because it didn't have a Nest camera, but anyways, keep it safe, keep it iced down. Please make sure you're being safe. I can't stress enough. Garages and outdoors, just boom, keep it in a cooler and you'll be safe. This is about serving safe food. Make sure you keep all your Thanksgiving guests ready to come back next year as well. So, all right. So your bird is in the brine. We're going to brine it for 45 minutes a pound. I will give you a little chef's tip because I don't want to have to recalculate all the time the math. I'm going to make myself a little Post-it note. I'm going to put a cover on here, and on the Post-it note, I'm going to put in here, in on Wednesday at 8 o'clock at night, out on Thursday at whatever time of the day I need to get ready for the grill, oven, smoker, etc. When you take your brine out of the brine solution, don't rinse it and don't pat it dry. The reason we cooked the brine in our stock pot was to dissolve all the salt and sugar. A lot of times when those recipes say rinse off the brine, maybe you haven't cooked that brine to dissolve it and turn that solid into a solution. Maybe what happened was we left just the salt and the sugar and they stuck onto the turkey in clumps. We don't have that issue with ours because we took that solid and made a solution. So don't rinse it and don't pat it dry. When you open this bag up, you'll see a nice little sheen of turkey fat sitting on the top. That is beautiful because that skin has bloomed a little bit. It has absorbed a little bit of brine, a little bit of moisture, and that fat is just sitting there ready to go and make it nice and brown. Like I said in the beginning when we started, this bird right here was brined in chef's brine and smoked on the grill. I didn't do anything else to it. I didn't spray it. I didn't rub it with fat. I didn't butter baste it. This is literally from the fat in the skin on the turkey. So go ahead and throw your bird in the brine. Let it sit. It's 45 minutes. When you take it out, that's when you get it ready. And I will put it in a pan on the kitchen counter just to get it ready for the grill, oven, smoker. Now, depending on what you're cooking on, there's a little bit of prep time ahead of time to get ready. Jeff said he's having a hard time finding the big green egg. We will have Allison, who is our moderator. She'll post that turkey cooking sheet up there for you. And we've got it broken down. It's one sheet that has Weber Traeger big green egg, kind of everybody one little helpful sheet for you. So, all right. Now, when you're prepping your turkey and it comes time to get ready for the grill, I'm going to pull this out of the brine. I'm going to put it into a pan to let that brine just drain a little bit. This is the time if you want to enhance or supplement a little bit of seasoning on the outside of your turkey to go ahead and do so. You can easily, I was like, where's the turkey? I just put it back in the brine. This is a great time to, if you want to put something on the outside to act as a binder. One of the things you can do is put a little bit of bacon fat on the top if you want. That's a great way to help the rub stick. Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is amazing on turkey. Hey, and if you have someone in your family that doesn't like mayonnaise, don't tell them you put mayonnaise on the turkey because they will never know. It's just a delicious addition of fat to it. And Gary said it right in the comment section. I can't pick one mayonnaise over another, but if I was going to, what Gary said, it's not a bad mayonnaise at all. A couple questions. Hey, it's Marin from Nyberg's Ace. Good to see you. We normally stuff our turkey with onions, oranges, and apples. Okay, we're going to talk about stuffing here in just a second, okay? So brining is done. Turkey sitting in a pan, waiting to get seasoned or however you want to finish it. Time to heat up your grills or your smokers. One of the questions I get pretty frequently every year is, hey, I cooked my turkey for 7.5 hours and it was really, really dry. Low temperature smoke on a turkey is going to defeat the purpose of what we just did. That low temperature smoke is going to dry out your turkey. It's going to wick out a lot of moisture. If I'm going to smoke it, whether it's on a gas grill and I'm adding a smoker box, whether it's Traeger, Weber, Big Green Egg, I'm going to supplement with a little bit of smoke in the beginning just to get the flavor started. Maybe an hour of smoke. And then I'm going up to 350 degrees and I am roasting that turkey off. When I smoke, and Patrick just asked a great question, what's the optimal temperature? When I smoke my turkeys to get a little bit of smoke flavor in the beginning, I want that temperature to be about 180 to 225 degrees. That's a good smoke range. And then, like I said, I only go for about an hour. I just want to impart a little bit of smoke flavor, but I don't want that dry, cool air in the grills or smokers to wick out any moisture from my bird. Then I turn it up to 350 degrees and I roast that turkey off until the proper doneness. Marin asked a question about stuffing turkeys. I am not a turkey stuffing kind of guy. If you look at this bird, there's nothing in the cavity. One of the reasons is stuffing is just it lives at a funky temperature. We call it the temperature danger zone it sits at for too long, picking up all the turkey drippings. I just always get sketched out a little bit by that. I know everybody's done it for years and I get it, and that's okay. I prefer not to. What I will stuff my turkey with is carrot, celery, and onions. I love those carrot, celery, and onions. The vegetables in there are great because as the vegetables soften up and roast up a little bit and the juices drip down, all of that flavor comes right into my pan when I'm catching the drippings and helps make a really good gravy. Marin asked about apples, oranges, those types of things. Apples are great. They're going to add a little bit of sweetness to it. Me personally, I don't prefer citrus in here because the peel, outer peel and the pith are very bitter. They've got oil and they just have bitter flavors. When you have that moisture inside the cavity and it steams, you're going to add a little bit of bitterness in that steam into your turkey. The same reason that I don't add herbs in here. I won't add fresh rosemary, fresh thyme, because steamed herbs are very much, they taste kind of moldy. They just taste a little bit off to me. So I'm a purist. I stuff it with carrot, celery, onions. You'll put a couple cloves of garlic in there if you want to. And then I feel like that really helps deliver an exceptional gravy when it's time for gravy. Because while the turkey is absolutely the most important thing, I pretty much feel like gravy is like second most important thing. Well, actually, the smoked pumpkin pie is pretty good too. All right, so follow our cooking temperature sheet that we have for you. That is a great timeline. If you're supplementing smoke, definitely just a little bit of smoke. It's so perfect and it's so nice. And then turn it up. A bunch of you have asked, hey, what about browning the skin? So while I'm out roasting my turkey, whether it's on my Traeger, Weber, Big Green Egg, or in my oven, I don't cook my turkeys covered. This turkey had no cover on it at all while I cooked it. And that came out pretty solid, right? So no foil, no cover, no anything else. Why, Zach, you asked a great question. Why don't I cover it? Some people say, don't you cover it so that it doesn't get too brown while the legs and thighs? Imagine this. Here's your turkey. Here's the breast cage up here, and down here is the legs and the thighs. The reason that they finish at a different temperature is this is closer to the heat on your grill, and they're thinner. So these naturally finish at about 180 degrees, while that breast is up higher and you've got that cavity, and that finishes at about 165. So the way that turkey cooks in its relation to the heat source in your grill is what causes it to finish at those temperatures as it cooks. And normally it does it very, very evenly. When you're checking temperatures, make sure your best friend is a good digital thermometer, or if you like technology, we've got a lot of cool technology gifts for you as well. We've got the Meter Plus probes right here. We've got these Meter Plus probes that work great. We've got a really nice thermometer here from Maverick. This is one of my favorite thermometers. Or if you have a Weber grill, we've got a Weber Connect. And what these allow you to do is really connect to your food, plug into them if you like the technology part on your Traeger or the Egg Genius on your Big Green Egg. And then you can track it from the comfort of your phone, which is always nice. I always check my first round of temperatures in the breast. Now, when you go into the breast to check temperatures, make sure that you're not coming in to the bone. You don't want to go so deep into the breast that you're hitting the wing bone, which is going to be right in here. So if you feel a little bit of resistance or a little tap, what I actually will do is pull back just a little bit so you're getting a better reading and it's not a false reading, because that wing, that bone could conduct a little more heat and maybe give you a 5 to 7 degree difference in temperature. And that difference in temperature is a difference between clear juices or juices that are red when you get down to the wing joint. Same thing on the leg and the thigh. I'm going into the biggest, thickest part of the leg thigh area to check that temperature as well and make sure that I have a good consistent reading. 165 in the breast, 180 in the leg and the thigh. I'm of the school of thought that some people will say, you know what? I know it's 165. I'm going to cook it to 175 just to be safe. This is going to carry over cook just a little bit. So when my turkey is done and I've tracked its temperature and I've checked everything, and maybe I have my Meter Plus or I've got my Traeger app or the Egg Genius or Weber Connect, once it's about 163 degrees here, and this is about 178, and they're really, really close, I'm going to pull this off and let them carry over cook to the finish line. If you cook them to 175, they're more than likely going to finish up into the 185 range, which is going to be a little bit hotter and also a little bit drier, if you will, as well. So I like to finish them close to the edge and let them carry over gently versus push them well past the doneness temperature and they carry over a little bit more. Would a Pit Boss pellet grill be compatible to a Traeger? Yep, absolutely. It would be the same, pretty much apples to apples, right? Or pellets to pellets, if you will. A couple other questions. Brian said, how long do you rest the turkey before cutting? About 15 minutes max. Again, guess what? As it carryover cooks, it's going to grow in temperature, maybe for another 5 to 7 minutes. And then all of a sudden, it's going to level out before it starts to drop down a little bit. So about 15 minutes, I'm good to go. Like I said, when you make that backward schedule, it may be helpful to write out, hey, we're eating at 5:45, but or eating at 5 o'clock, but at 4:45, I need to carve the turkey, which means it needs to be done at 4:30, which means go backwards and make a little schedule. Let's see, Meter Plus. Yes, that is good. You can definitely pair it to your phone. Oh, that was Ace Hardware. Yeah, thank you. Sorry. Cooking a brine turkey using a vertical turkey cooker and a big green egg. What are your thoughts on placing it in a pan filled with dry white wine? White wine is going to be bitter. So as that wine evaporates and that moisture comes up, I should say, as it's evaporating, it may leave a little bit of bitterness. My suggestion, if you want to do the wine, maybe you do turkey stock, maybe do like 80% turkey stock, 20% wine, so that the wine doesn't become the predominant flavor. It becomes an aroma. It becomes an essence. And maybe in that you put some shallots, some chopped up shallots, some garlic as well to get some more rich flavors in there. But I wouldn't have just wine because I think it'll bitter it out. I would add some wine to the turkey stock. So as you're carving and eating it, people are like, ooh, that's a nice note of something. What is it? And you can explain what you've got. How about butter under the skin before cooking? Yes, you could definitely do that. Butter, bacon fat would work out really, really nice. Jeremy says, love the meter. Yeah, we do too. We dig them. Can you deep fry a brine turkey? Please. We talked about this earlier. Be careful when it comes to deep frying. I don't deep fry. I'll be very, very honest with you. I know it's delicious. I just want to be super careful. If you're frying a brine turkey, that brine bird needs to sit for about 6 hours, I would say, just so that all of that brine can drip out and leach out. And I mean 6 hours in the fridge, so it has a chance just to soften and cool itself down. Definitely don't want to carry any extra moisture into your fryer. And please, please make sure you're out in the backyard. Your frying vessel, they have a line on it where to fill it. Don't overfill it. Just please be super, super careful. Can you cook a bigger bird uncovered in the smoker? Absolutely. When you're looking at a 20 or 22 pounder, absolutely cook them uncovered. This was 100% uncovered. I kept it at that 350. If you're looking at it, all of a sudden, maybe you're a half hour away and you're like, why isn't the skin brown? Turn your heat up a little bit. Turn it up 50 or 75 degrees. And that last bump of heat is going to do a really, really nice job of browning off your skin for you. So little bump of temp on the end. Jeremy asked, best way to transport a cooked turkey. I will put it in a pan similar to one of these guys right here, and then cover it with foil. And I won't like cover the outside of the pan. I'll actually put the foil over the turkey. And then what I'll do is take one of my old towels and put an old towel over it just to help insulate it and hold some of that heat into your turkey. And then definitely put it on a floor, in the floor of your car, so it's not sliding around, or in the back of your truck. Put it somewhere where it's stable so it's not slip sliding away. First time using a Traeger instead of an Okie Joe with briquettes. Any major differences in planning? You're going to have a flavor. Who is that? That is Jennifer. Jennifer, you're going to have a flavor difference for sure. You're going to have a flavor difference in that charcoal to pellet. And I would say your pellet's probably going to take a little bit longer, even though when you're cooking with the charcoal and you may be cooking direct, that charcoal tends to burn a little bit hotter. Pellet grills tend to be a more convective heat, so it may take just a tiny, tiny bit longer. Tie wrap, yeah, we've got twist ties that come with the brine bags that are right here. You can do that. Dan, we've got a great video for you on how to carve a turkey. We've got that on Ace Hardware right here on the Ace Hardware YouTube channel. Now, one of the things Allison just posted for us is, hey, December 15th, you asked, we listened, we are doing a ham live class coming up in December. And the great thing about that ham live class is I'm going to show you how to supplement and enhance the flavor of a store-bought ham, but I'm also going to show you how we do a ham from a ham, right? From a nice, beautiful chunk of pork. We're going to show you how we took it all the way from pork to ham, so to speak, from raw to ham. And then, Dan, we just posted a link on how to carve a turkey for you right in the chat section as well. Butter under the skin. Okay. Lloyd asked a question. Can I do butter under the skin instead of a brine and put rub on the skin? I will tell you, a brine, like I've said before, brine is like a bath water. It's definitely absorbing that moisture into your turkey. So butter under the skin will give you a little bit of moisture, not as much as brining. I really think brining is your insurance policy that's going to be moist and delicious. And then it's also that foundation of flavor, which starts off everything in your turkey. Question, you may have already answered this, but if we use the brine kits and my bird comes in a 6% solution, great question. I didn't answer that, Jeremy. So thank you very much. Let's say, wait, I'm sorry. That was JR. So if you buy a turkey and you're looking at it and you're like, oh no, this has 6%, 8%, 10% solution. The higher the solution. So let's start at the beginning. If you have 6, 8, 10% solution, I would still brine your turkey about 40 minutes a pound. If you get to 12 to 15%, I would brine it 35 minutes per pound. If it's over 15, 18, 20%, I would brine it less, 25 minutes per pound. So the more solution in your turkey, the less time. So the less solution in the 6 and the 8, keep it 5 minutes less per pound. As you get higher, back it down just a little bit. The nice thing about it is the brine is going to help that solution push a little bit out and pull a little bit more of the brine in. Push a little bit out and pull a little bit more in. So just brine a little bit less. Let's see what else we've got here. Ooh, Chris, great idea. Prime rib class. We did that last year. Definitely, we will look at that again. Mitch said, where do we get the brine bags? You can head over to acehardware.com and also your local Ace Hardware. Is butter under the skin also butter, bacon injection, and mayo rub overall overkill or just more flavor all around? I'm telling you, if you inject fat in here, it's going to be just beautiful. It's going to be self-basting. Mayonnaise is going to be an exterior. Mayonnaise, oil, bacon fat on the outside is going to be an exterior surface enhancer, if you will. You're going to spread that on there. It's going to be a nice flavor enhancement. It's going to help your rub stick as well. So if I'm just brining and then cooking, I'm going to inject and keep it just like this. I'm going to add some fat maybe. But if I want to impart flavor on the skin, then I'll do mayonnaise, all that kind of stuff. Oh, that's a great question. I love that. Eric says, why would you want to spatchcock it versus keeping the turkey whole? Listen, I'm telling you what, you want next level. Spatchcock method is definitely next level. Look at this bird as it sits, right? It's this big. You know, this took me about 4.5 hours, 4 hours and 45 minutes to cook. When you do the spatchcock method, you remove the back, and we've got a full video on how to spatchcock a turkey, plus how to cook it that way. And then you flatten the bird out. So all of a sudden, you're getting 360-degree smoke around there. Spatchcock is a great method, delivers a really exceptional bird. It's also fantastic on the grill. If you want just a nice, and maybe you only have a gas grill, but you want to enjoy just a phenomenal turkey experience, that spatchcock turkey on a grill delivers. And then the nice thing is, too, you can cook indirect on your gas grill. At the very last minute, turn the burners on under the turkey to roast off those bones just a little bit. Get a really, really nice flavor that way. Okay, Mitch said thank you. Got it. Jeremy says, I know you have beat this to death, but I want to make sure we're on the same page. I'm not purchasing a frozen turkey. I'm getting a fresh turkey. Okay, Jeremy, your fresh turkey, get that Monday. Please pick it up Monday and have it in your fridge. That is my man, I'll tell you what, this is stressful. Once I have the turkey sitting in my fridge, I'm done. Like my stress is like literally that's half the stress of Thanksgiving is getting the bird. So if you're getting a fresh bird, make sure you head out and grab it, put it in your fridge on Monday, and then you're like, yes, I got it. Thank you. I'm so good. Yeah. And then you'll be ready to get it cleaned and prepped and ready. Can any plastic bag? Jeff said, what is a good rub to use? That's another great question too. We get that pretty frequently. You can see behind me, I've got a bunch of different rubs from Traeger, Big Green Egg, my own line of rubs, Meat Church. Pick a rub that is flavor-wise complements what you're doing. I don't want to rub that when I put a rub on the turkey, people are like, what an amazing rub that was. That's not why I have you over for Thanksgiving. I want you to say, oh my gosh, that was the best turkey I ever had. So pick a rub that is very complementing to the flavor and it doesn't become the only thing you taste. That's probably my best. Jim asked, when I inject, let's go back up. Can any plastic bag be used? Make sure your plastic bag is a food safe bag. Make sure it is thick and make sure it is non-BPA. So that's the plastic bag answer. Matt says, I'm going to be smoking a 10.5 pound turkey, 5.5 pound brisket. Can you do both at the same time? Yes is the right answer. You can, because if they're at the same temperature, however, your bird eventually needs to go up into 350. Your brisket does not. Also, when you have them in the same cavity, as AKA a grill, that flavor is going to kind of cross-pollinate. So you may have some brisket-flavored turkey, which could be a strong flavor. I would say just because you can doesn't mean you should. I may cook them separately, and that way I have better control over time, temperature, flavor. Let's see. When you inject fat, do you inject just under the skin? I do not. I inject down into, think of you getting a shot, right? Maybe you're getting a cortisone shot and they want to build up a little pocket. Go ahead and put that in multiple locations and all throughout the entire thing to make sure you get what you need for fat. Let's see. Man, we got a lot of good questions. We have the last call for questions here. I'm going to answer just a couple more, but huge thank you for everybody for hanging out. You have such amazing questions, and I'm going to definitely go through and get those answered. Vinny, really quick for you. I went over defrosting a frozen bird. Figure 5 pounds of turkey per day. If you have a 20-pound turkey, it's probably going to take you 4 to 5 days for that to defrost. When you put it in your fridge, definitely put it in a pan to catch all of those drippings. Jeremy, yes. Smoke at 180 for just the first hour, then boom, right up to 350 degrees. You guys, we have a lot of great questions coming in. DJ asked, do I rinse the turkey after brining? I do not. I don't rinse it, and I don't pat it dry. Best place for thermometer to put in here, right in the breast. And like I said, go into the breast, but not down to the bone. Just get it as deep into the breast so you get a better reading. Now, don't forget, this Thursday, Saturday, the 19th, we have our Thanksgrilling Party at participating Ace Hardware stores. So you can definitely get in there and sample some turkey at your local Ace. Talk to our Ace barbecue experts. They will help you out with tips, advice, and more. And then don't forget to head over to acehardware.com to grab all of our tips and advice sheets, recipes, videos, more. Mac just said, will this video be available after? Absolutely. When we're done tonight, we are going to save this on our YouTube channel. You are going to be able to watch this and ask your questions. You will also see all of these questions start to repeat as well. And you'll probably hear me answering some of them live. And then I'll be going back over the next week and answering them live as well. Question. When using mayo, don't pat the bird dry. Yes, actually, I'm sorry. If you're going to put mayo on there, pat it dry and then rub that mayo on there. Thank you. I appreciate all your nice compliments and comments. Thank you. So again, don't forget, Thanksgrilling Party this Saturday at your local Ace from 11 to 2. And then you're here on our YouTube channel. So head over to the little post we have for our ham class on December 15th. Make sure you click on those notifications. Make sure you subscribe. Hey, spread the word. Let your friends and family know we've got some amazing things coming up and the Ace Hardware YouTube channel. And then while you're here, go look at all the other videos we have, because we have definitely a pretty solid collection of videos for you as well. Don't forget to acehardware.com. Perfect time to buy a Traeger. We've got some amazing deals at your local Ace Hardware. So get over there. If you're looking for the grill of your dreams, now is the time to do that. And let me see if I missed anything. Don't forget too, all the events you want to see us do live next year. We're going to plan some 4 or 5 nice Facebook Live, YouTube Live events next year for you as well. So, hey, we appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Thank you very, very much. Don't forget, leave your questions and comments. If you're rewatching this later to get some more tips and advice, ask your question again. Like I said, I'll spend the next few days in there answering questions for you. Make sure we get you all taken care of. But your best friend in this Thanksgiving process, acehardware.com/Thanksgrilling. That is our Thanksgrilling landing page. Get over there. We've got it chock full of amazing things to get you up and running and set to go. But hey, wishing you, your families, your friends, everyone that you are spending the holidays with a very, very amazing Thanksgiving. Take some time to be thankful, appreciate everything you've got, appreciate the world we live in, and just have fun enjoying each other's company. Happy Thanksgiving from the helpful folks, and we will see you soon. Don't forget, this coming Saturday, your local Ace, get in there and definitely enjoy some turkey. So happy cooking. Let us know how we can help you. Happy Thanksgiving.